Yo, what's going on, guys? It's Houston Sports Talk back into the video today. And today, the Los Angeles Rams beat the Minnesota Vikings 27-9. Great win for the Rams. Great win for their city. I gotta say, the opening of this game, the fight song, that was tough to watch. That was, almost had me a little teary-eyed, to be honest. But I wanted to see the Vikings and Eagles. I really wanted to see a Vikings-Eagles matchup because I really thought the Vikings and Eagles would be a good matchup with the way the Vikings played against the Rams tonight. I'm not so much thinking that anymore. But I really wanted the Rams to also win this game for the city of Los Angeles. Much needed for the city of Los Angeles. I said it last night. With everything they're going through right now, you don't need two playoff teams both going down, and a win like this can it might sound silly, but maybe it can give the city a little bit of hope. I definitely think a win like this for them is definitely what is needed for their city. Great win today, tonight. 27-9 is the final score. I mean, this wasn't even close. At all throughout the whole game. I mean, the Rams came out firing, and absolutely they came into this game knowing we're gonna go win this game for our city, and so what a terrific game by them as an entire team, and to get strong when their city is in bad times like they are right now. And so yeah, that's what I want to talk about. That like I've said many times, what's going on there is terrible right now. But when I like to say when times are bad, when things are rough in the world, what is great about sports is that's a getaway from everything. So we're going to stop talking about the bad stuff that's going on in Los Angeles. It's terrible. But sports are a getaway. Sports are when everything's bad. Let's watch sports, and maybe it can get your mind off of what's going on in the world. I know sometimes that could be really hard to do. But for me, that's always been when everything's tough. I mean, like, sports is definitely the way to go. And so we're going to stop talking about all the bad stuff that's going on, and we're going to talk about this football game. But still, praying for everybody that's in Los Angeles. All right, 27-9 is the final score. This was this was an ass whooping. Scoring summary. First quarter, Matthew Stafford, 5-yard passing touchdown to Kyron Williams, 7-0. Then Josh Riccardi makes a 34-yard field goal. It's 10-0. Then Will Reichert with a 34-yard field goal. It's 10-3. That was really the only score that Minnesota had tonight when it was a close game. Then Jared Verse has the 57-yard fumble recovery touchdown, 17-3. Then Matthew Stafford throws a 13-yard touchdown pass to Davis Allen. It's 24-3. Joshua Carty, 44-yard field goal. It's 27-3. And then here's Minnesota's final and last score. Sam Darnold to T.J. Hawkinson. What a catch and run by T.J. Hawkinson. 26 yards. And they went for the two, and it was no good. 27-9. All right, game leaders. Sam Darnold, 25 for 40, 245 passing yards, 1 passing touchdown, 1 reception. Everybody calling him a fraud because of these last couple games against the Lions and the Rams. It's been bad for Sam Darnold these last couple games. And I definitely think the way he's played in these last couple games, his contract, wherever he goes, whether it's staying in Minnesota or it's going somewhere else, his contract will definitely, potentially be hurt by that a little bit. But Sam Darnold still played some great football this season. He played some great football against some great teams outside of, like the Lions and the Rams. And so I think Sam Darnold's still going to get some good money. I think Sam Darnold's still a good quarterback. But what I think the important thing is that when things were really important, when you needed him to get things done in these last couple games going up against the Rams and Lions, he couldn't get that done, and that's the bad thing of this whole thing, I would say. Matthew Stafford, 19 for 21, 209 passing yards and 2 passing touchdowns. Rushing yards, Aaron Jones had 13 carries for 48 rushing yards. Kyron Williams had 16 carries for 76 rushing yards. Receiving yards, T.J. Hawkinson had 5 receptions for 64 receiving yards and a touchdown, and Higbee had 5 receptions for 58 receiving yards. Let's get to some other stats. Kyron Williams, 76 rushing yards. He was huge. Ronnie Rivers had 8 rushing yards. Puka Nacua had 7 rushing yards. Puka Nacua had a great start to this game. Had 27 receiving yards in the first quarter. Then went kind of quiet. Only 5 receptions, 44 receiving yards. Cooper Kupp had a big catch in this game in the fourth quarter. Had a 29-yard catch, and that was it. Demarcus Robinson had a 23-yard catch. Kyron Williams had 3 catches for 16 receiving yards and a touchdown. That was it for him. T.J. Hawkinson went over him. Justin Jefferson had 5 receptions for 58 receiving yards. Jalen Naylor had 3 receptions for 33 receiving yards. Jordan Addison had 3 receptions for 29 receiving yards. And Aaron Jones had 3 receptions for 12 receiving yards. Fumbles. Sam Darnold did lose a fumble that turned into a Jared Verse touchdown. And there was a fumble by Brandon Powell, but it went out of bounds. It was off a punt. It went out of bounds. No one recovered it. All right, defensive stats. Blake Cashman was terrific in this game. Had a sack, had 11 tackles. Love Blake Cashman as a Texans fan. Blake Cashman was in Houston. The Vikings only had 2 sacks tonight. Andrew Van Ginkel and Blake Cashman, both linebackers. And here's the big difference of this game is 9 sacks for this Rams defense. 1.5 sacks for both Neville Gallimore and Brian Young. Then 2 sacks for Kobe Turner. Half a sack for Michael Hoyat. Then 1 sack for, I'm going to try to say his name right, Akilo Witherspoon. And then 1 sack for Kobe Durant. 1 sack for Dejuan Johnson he had 1 sack, and then a half a sack for Braden Fisk, and that was it. 9 sacks, 10 tackles for loss. This Rams defense came up big tonight, and their only interception was Cody Durant. Let me know your thoughts on the Rams winning 27-9 in the comment section. That's the video. Hope you guys enjoyed, and peace out.